Hello, fellow AFL enjoyers. We're back.
Errol Goulden's coming to Carlton.
You heard it here first.
And no one's leaving Carlton.
Yeah, no one's leaving Carlton, mate.
No one's leaving, mate. Goulden's just requesting a trade. You know, he's going to terminate his contract with the Swans.
He was a Carlton supporter, dude. Did you know that?
No way.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So was Papley.
Yeah, there you go, mate. They're all coming, mate.
And Heaney's coming for the ride.
So what you're saying is Goulden's going to want to come, not go, and then win the Brownlow next year.
Yes, pretty much.
Legit, mate. Insane.
Look, the silly season started for the teams that didn't make it. Carlton's involved in everything. So that's cool. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's it, man. I feel like I love how we've gone to, you guys are getting Goulden. The elephant in the room is that Charlie Curnow wants out, bro.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't think he has any leverage to get out.
No.
So it's not going to happen.
Look, Tom DeConning's official, Jack Silvani's official, but we kind of knew that.
Yeah.
The Charlie Curnow one is kind of the murmurs in the background. We don't know if that's going to eventuate or not, but it'd be huge.
Yeah. Look,
I don't know what my preference is.
Your preference as in what? Do you want him to stay or leave?
Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
Because I don't know if he's the best for the culture. And I'm happy that core group is getting broken up. Because I want the Sam Walsh of the world to come in and say, this is my club now. If you losers don't want to work hard, get out of here. I reckon this is actually massive for Carlton, personally.
Look, hey, that's interesting.
They failed the rebuild, man, but there's still plenty of players there that can make this into a very good team.
That's true. That is true, man.
So they got to grab all these people that want to go,
So
get rid of him.
You'd entertain like a Jeremy Cameron out of the Giants sort of trade or return.
Yeah, like obviously the problem is you got to get some value for Charlie, right?
Well, let's assume it's maximum value, a couple first rounders.
Oh, without a doubt.
You take a couple
Yeah,
firsts. Interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
See, you're probably the only Carlton supporter. Actually, I don't know. I don't know that many Carlton supporters, but you know, who would just be like, yeah, sure. Give me a couple firsts.
I'm suspicious
Give me
he's not
Pappy.
great for the culture, dude.
Look,
you know
him coming in on the bike was just a bit weird.
Came on the bike, man.
Yeah, like, bro,
And we got
just
smashed.
just pay for an Uber like anyone else. You don't need to use a bike there. Like, yeah. No, look, that's interesting thought. Well, yeah, I feel like that's our little Carlton spiel, you know, because we're going to have a little run through of a few different clubs and our thoughts.
Let's just hold on to just one more question for George, I guess, is what do you need then? And then if you get those needs, what's the ceiling? You sort of mentioned last week, I was listening, you think finals should still be the goal, even though Curnow might leave and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I think it should be.
What kind of players do you need then?
We need players that can kick. I think Carlton is the worst kicking side in the comp, and that includes West Coast.
That would probably help, yeah.
So we need players that play. So I noticed like Orazio Fantasia got delisted. You know, these type of players that have talent, but you're waiting for them to kind of be available and they never are. They need to go. Like last year, Jack Martin left. Fantasia will go. There's talk of maybe McGovern potentially not being offered a contract. Like these type of players that have high ceiling but never quite reach it. I want them cleared out so that we just know what we've got. The maybes and the ifs, I think, need to go. Players that can kick, players that can run, and small forwards, which has been the same issue for years.
You're getting small forwards. It's like, you know, death taxes and Georgie wants small forwards.
Well, you know what? I'll tell
We've got Frankie Evans who's come out of nowhere, but he's a packet of chips, right? Motlop, I think he's got one more year in his contract, so I'm not going to ditch him. All the other Malakas have to go.
Well, fair. Well, I think you're going to be happy with the first player you've been linked with because there's two of those things you mentioned that he does deliver. He's fast and he's a small forward and his name's Jack Petruccelli. Come on down, baby. Let's go.
You know what's so funny about...
Genuine rumor. I'm not just making that up.
I saw some meme where it's like some guy like doing like the Andrew Tate type of thing and he's got that big chin and it's like lose Charlie Curnow, Silvani and Tom DeConning and get Petruccelli, Buku Karmas and whoever, whichever that's stonks and a half.
Look, you might need to reevaluate your finals hopes from now, man. I'm not going to lie. Like,
we've been linked to Petruccelli for years. If he's getting delisted from West Coast, the worst team we've ever seen in history,
mate, he will G up Lygon though. Like
100%, man. The Italian name for a Carlton player is perfect.
He's going to enjoy that.
Yeah, we better not get him.
I think you are.
Yeah, Petruccelli off the halfback. Matt Carroll.
yeah. You know what? There's a segue, right? Matt Carroll, in the last round against the Rising Star, had like 15 disposals. There was a young kid at North Melbourne, Cooper Trembath.
No, AFL hates us, mate.
They do.
He can get it next year. Yeah,
but they could have given him a nom.
Yeah.
9 goals in 3 games isn't a good enough start to your career to get a rising
Correct.
star nom. I don't know what the go is with the
Bro,
voting
did
for
Matt
rising
Carroll
star.
not save our Supercoach teams midway to the year?
Well, you're right. You're right.
Did he not? Has
Maybe
he not been
maybe
consistent enough?
Maybe I owe the bloke an apology. Thank you for saving us. But
right.
no, look, yeah, we'll move on to North just a
Well,
little
actually,
bit.
before you do that, should
Yeah.
we say congratulations to the Gold Coast?
Yeah,
They had a game.
they did well.
They actually,
Do we
You
want
know what?
they made finals.
Look, did anyone watch that?
Did I not say the start of the year they'd make the finals? I don't remember.
You probably.
But let's
did.
pretend
Nah.
like I did.
Knowing
you're-
you did.
Yeah, you're a Gold Coast fanboy. Yeah, so I don't think we really need to talk about that game.
No,
man.
but
Do we-
congratulations, boys.
congrats. There's the analysis of that
Yeah,
game.
good win.
done. Yeah, that's
I just like the fact that like in the first quarter it was already 40 points.
legit. Like, yeah, that's look. Did we expect any less? Like,
No.
those Essendon boys, man, they've had such a hard ride, man. They're just, they're finished, bro. They just want to go. They want to go to the
home.
beach. They want to do some surfing. They want to have a few, little beers. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to chill out, bro. Like,
100%.
and these Gold Coast boys, like, they just went to
absolute pound town.
Yeah, pound town, bro.
What do you think Bontempelli was doing? Do you reckon he sat down going, "Oh, come on, Merritt,
Yeah,
let's see what you can do, boys"?
Yeah, that's
Or do you think they didn't even turn it on?
Look, I think they would have. Surely they would have watched the man. There's got to be that little bit of a hope that finals.
They had to go to training on Tuesday,
That sucks.
and
That
like
sucks.
Bevo had to be like, "Come on, boys,
Yeah,
knees up,
Mm.
hit that drill."
that's it. Boy.
Whatever coaches say.
I don't know.
If only they just had one decent scalp all year. Let's be honest. The amount of like opportunities they had to just have one, stake your claim sort of win. And that's why, even though I'm not the biggest Gold Coast fan, I'm happy that they made it over the Dogs.
I agree.
At the end of
I think they're the most worthy. That top 8 is the most worthy. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we can probably do a quick review of some of the teams that missed the finals if you want.
Yeah. So we've kind of gone through Carlton a little bit. That
You-
might have been the quickest match report that we've ever done, I think, which I think, to be honest, is necessary for that game. Like,
You want to touch on North quickly, Matza, then?
yes. So we did mention Cooper Trembath. Look, I feel like he kind of makes up for a lot of the questionable, perhaps, early picks that we've had. Like, because there's been a few, right? There's been a few. Like, Will Phil's probably going to go this year. Like, and that sucks, Again, Dano's mentioned that a few times. COVID affected draft, which, makes it a bit hard to, to go for. And there was an academy pick in there, which, is probably not going to exist next year. So we missed out on the opportunity to get Dramara or Thilthorpe. So, anyway, AFL hating us some more. But yeah, look, a guy like Trembath and us being strategic in playing a couple games for our VFL and then being like, bro, play local footy, play futsal, play basketball. Just don't play VFL. We don't want anyone to see you, bro. We don't want anyone to know you exist. That's some like Hawthorn type stuff with Jai Newcomb. That's some like Collingwood style, recruiting, Geelong style recruiting, where they pick a dude up, from rural Australia and make him a, all Australian halfback or something. That's something that those clubs do.
Shout out Tom Stewart.
Shout out Tom Stewart, man. Playing in rural Australia. Maybe he was. I don't know. But the fact that we've done that, from the mid-season draft, and not even that, we stretched it out to the second round of the mid-season draft. You know what I mean? Like we
Did well.
Yeah, like that's shout out to the North recruiting. Like that's a huge W. Otherwise, look, the team, I don't know, man. It is an improvement. 7 wins instead of 5. 7.5 wins instead of 5.
7.5 wins in the end, was it?
Yeah, 7 and a draw. So look, it is an improvement.
22 points.
Yeah,
No.
22 points. How does that work?
It was less. No.
Nah,
That's
six
fi-
six
that's
wins. Oh, 5
5
wins.
and a half,
Five and a
bro.
draw.
Oh, bro,
five and a
my
draw.
math.
That ain't an improvement, bro.
Yes.
That's it's a draw improvement.
No, we were 3 last year.
did you have
Sorry, it
three?
was 3 into 5. I did my math wrong.
Look,
I added 2 wins to to each of the last 2 years. But anyway, look, that's a kind of a nice little bright spot to end of the season. Riley Hardiman, another little shining light who missed towards the end of the season, but he was providing some spark and some run. There's a little bit there, but it's
Look, there was a couple extra wins, better percentage, a handful of losses under 10 points. Like there's definitely improvement. It wasn't as much as we thought though, I don't think. I think they finally figured out the on-ball mix.
Yes.
So no more Simpkin, no more Powell, who both started the year on ball a lot. So now it's like your LDU, Wardlaw, Sheasel core with Parker coming in.
I would have thought that'd be obvious.
Well,
you'd think
it
so,
wasn't
but it
until
wasn't,
round
yeah.
20.
You know, they tried to put McKercher a bit more like wing half forward. Now he's like back to half back wing, getting heaps more of the ball second half of the year. So I think they're sort of figuring things out. Curtis and Zohar finally looking consistent. It's obviously just a few of our key position players, because we drafted them later than the mids. They're just a bit behind. Like obviously Whitlock's new, Dawson got a handful of games, didn't look ready. So I think we do need like a stopgap key position support while those guys develop. So enjoyed the rumors of Lever visiting the facility this week. Apparently, if that's true, I'd love that. Any North fan who thinks that he's not the right kind of defender to get, like, please just no.
Yeah.
We need any premiership defender that wants to come to North Melbourne. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think with him, the interesting thing about him is the way, even when he's not playing, apparently he's always on the phones. He's always, giving instructions. The fact that he's doing it, while he's not playing shows that he's invested in, playing good footy and playing, having good defensive structure and all that. So if he can bring that type of organisation at the very least to the team, it might mean, like, say, a Comben needs to play a bit more, on a man, if that makes sense, and Lever has to play loose. I don't know exactly how they would sort it out, but I think
They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. Who knows? Maybe having a guy like Lever in would make Will Dawson look better, because you help him position, and at the least, Will Dawson's 200 plus centimeters and, is not completely unco. Yeah. So, if you just has Lever to guide him in the right direction, he could be ready to play next year potentially, So
a couple of things like that. There's rumours of trading a couple second rounders for Gold Coast pick 6 if that happens, because they need the points for bidding. So look, we're never going to recruit the big fish, but if you can make smart moves, I'll be happy. So I do think, though, of those 6 odd games that we lost by under 10 points, you win half of them next year, I'm happy.
Yeah,
that'd be a good sign of improvement. Maybe even surprise and win a few that you don't think you'll win. So let's not forget, like, we drew with Brisbane. Like, that was the draw, Brisbane Lions. So.
They could be potential premiers, and everyone's talking about them and Geelong as favourites.
Correct. So
there you go.
Yeah, we almost beat Freo. That was one of the under 10-point losses. So in Perth. So there was a few times this year where we were like, damn, like actually like showing it up to a few good teams. So we'll see. I'm not ruling anything out, but I think that'd be a nice little, like maybe finish like where Saints or Carlton finish would be a nice little jump up next year. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Let's breeze through a couple other teams. Like, maybe starting from the bottom now, because we've been a bit out of order there. So Eagles, look,
that's one of the worst seasons ever, bro.
Yeah.
Look, thankfully for them, they're going to have pick 1 and 2. Hopefully they can get a couple decent players there.
They need to nail those.
They re-signed Harley. That's good.
Yeah, exactly right. But look, the re-signing Harley for what, till 2028, I think it's the exact same as the Naz situation, where it's like, look, hey guys, look, we've re-signed them. We're going to pay him, $2 million to be here, per year for the next 3 years, and then he's going to leave. Let's be fair. That's kind of how I see it. Hopefully they can, show enough signs where Harley's like, look, I'm here to stay, but I don't know. I think, just talent accumulation. That's all you can really do at this point, And
look, quite honestly, if you're going to be paid that much, you need to be the one to set the standard. Like a Sheasel, I don't think any North fans ever worried that guy's leaving the club, because he looks here like he bleeds blue and white.
Yeah.
He signed early, like he's locked in. Everything he says is on point. So, like, if Harley wants the big money and all that, fine. But also, you kind of hope now that he's the guy to actually help the club, not just hope that the team's good so he can be happy. Like, make him happy,
Yeah.
Be the player.
I think next season is the grace period with Harley starts to fade. I know our expectations on a young player may be a little bit harsh, but third year Harley Reid, superstar, $20 to $2 million a year type player, he needs to start playing like that. So, no more of these 6 free kicks against. Starts to be a consistent 20 possession midfielder. That's what I think he needs to become now.
Yeah, well, these days, players are maturing so quickly.
That's right.
1 or 2, 3, 4 years into the season, and we're already talking about people being all Australians, like Nick Dacos, Sheasel, Horn Francis, all these young dudes. We expect so much, especially from the midfielders, quickly. If Harley Reid can't do it, and he's the most hyped, he's like, they're hyping him up like, I'm trying to think, basketball thing, like LeBron, Wemby type thing, that he's that type of talent. Yeah, you got to show it quick, So, I think that's a fair call. Third year, he has to really be in contention.
Yeah. And if he has a indifferent year next year and he's 17 possessions and, just floating along, then, I think it needs to turn.
Yeah.
It needs to turn quickly, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Obviously they're losing Oscar Allen. That was on the cards for a while. I really like Job Shanahan, though.
Yeah.
I know we sort of mentioned him a few weeks ago, but as a as a draft pick key forward, like it's pretty rare that they contribute in year one, and he was looking good when he was in. So
yeah, he slipped to
physically-
them big time.
he slipped. He's physically ready. So you build around him. You got Waterman back. Forward line's got a bit of structure. You'd think. Obviously, their defense is a bit short now. McGovern retiring and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Midfield's also a bit short.
Yeah.
So
we'll see who they can recruit. Maybe
Yeah.
get a few people that want to go home. And I don't know. Are there any rumors you guys have seen?
yeah.
But
Look, I've seen
Liam
people,
Ryan's touted to leave.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Look, I think if you get something out of him, I think you take it. Like I think they've sort of said, "Hey, we want you to stick around because you're a key player," you know. But like to be honest, man, if you get a second out of him, he might have 3 or 4 years left. He's the type of player.
He's not that old. He's only 27. I
Is
think.
he?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, you want a first out of him just about for a small forward of that
Let me
caliber.
just double check. But I actually looked it up because I
Yeah.
think he'd been linked to Carlton at one point.
Yeah, well, I think he was old.
He's 28.
28. All right. Yeah, look, I think you take something out of him anyway. I think because you're not going to be competing like for proper, finals or anything for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
I think you take something out of it.
I guess moving on to Richmond then. Pretty successful year.
No, you have to say successful.
Yeah. Considering what people expected. I mean, the core group of those premiership guys still around helps, but
Yeah.
liked what I saw of a couple. Hodden looked good when he came in. That was probably the big one.
He's probably the best of the youngsters, apart from Lawler, who unfortunately, couldn't showcase his talents.
And that
at
was
all.
something in his draft year, so I hope it's just a few years in the preseason, get his body AFL ready, but it wasn't entirely surprising.
Yeah, otherwise he looks so
Oh, yeah.
ready, man.
He looked like the best player from the draft in the first couple of. I mean,
100%.
even his first game, he looked AFL ready. So, yeah, I mean, they got the blood. Every one of the youngsters except for Smiley.
Yes, he's the wild card, being such a tall mid. He could be anything really. So
Yeah, it's interesting.
I just think with Richmond, because they had such a clear direction to rebuild, got rid of so many of those players, the Bakers, the Grahams, the Boltons, whoever else, went to the draft in a big draft, got to blood their youngsters and won 5 games when everyone thought they were going to win 1. I mean, 2 points behind North, who was meant to take the step forward. I mean, I think you got to say that's success for year 1.
100%. Like my only concern, I think I've said this a few times, is once the Vlostons get old, once the Tarantos and the Hoppers, like they're solid mids, but they're not, they're not moving the needle.
Yeah.
Once those guys sort of move on, Nank, Tom Lynch, because at one stage Tom Lynch came in and he was looking huge at one point.
Surely,
at a
he's
couple
got
games anyway.
There's no way he's still got more football in him, but he hasn't retired, has he?
Yeah.
Lynch, didn't he re-sign? Tom Lynch. Yeah, he re-signed.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there you go. Look, those type of dudes, they can't, they can't hold the mantle. They can't, drive the standards. One of my favorite quotes: "Drive the standards forever." So those young guys have to pick up as much as they can ASAP.
Yeah.
Before these guys.
But what they'll try to do is, if they're clearly the talented players and they'll know that quickly, sign them up to long-term deals to keep the salary cap down, and then recruit, bring in players from other teams to help.
And they'll be
build
able to
the
recruit. This is the difference between
is
them and
Tigers,
North.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the
yeah.
Tigers, all right? So they'll get
They're a
in
big team.
all these concerns you've got. Like I'm sure they'll have more pull than most clubs in Victoria. So no, good. They did well. I think their young key forwards showed a little bit, but obviously that's where the big growth's going to come. Like if Armstrong and what's his name, the big boy,
Johnsy Fall.
Fall and Sims as well. If they can
Yeah,
all
she's
come
a
good,
few.
or at least 2 of them, that'd be huge. Because obviously they showed a little bit, but it's going to be hard. So well done, Tigers. Bombers, look,
Yeah.
we can just say
hard to review that.
hard to review it. We can say injuries. Did you see Ridley is apparently asked
Yeah.
to go to Brisbane?
Yeah.
Did you see that today?
Yeah.
Can Brisbane stop?
Yeah, I know.
Can they stop? They're the most stacked team.
I know.
You
And
gotta
all the
keep
father
stacking, man.
sons and this and that.
You got to keep stacking, man. You
I
got to
know.
keep reinventing yourself.
So that might happen.
100%.
I mean, apparently the Bombers have said no, but there'll be negotiations. So
Yeah.
you'd expect they'll.
Why would you not want out of Essendon though?
I think Essendon should get rid of him, if I'm being honest. Like, he's injury prone, and if you can get something for him, you probably just do it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It'll be Brisbane going for Oscar Allen and Ridley,
Yeah.
like one in each position. We're going to put a bunch of money and investment in there, and they're both injury prone. As
And they'll probably never get injured again.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That's one of those things. Yeah,
But yeah.
I mean, that's what makes a successful team because we hear about the big contracts, Tom De Koning, Naz, Reed, what Butters is going to get offered, but we don't hear about Brisbane's big contracts, do we? Like, when's the last time we heard, Hugh McCluggage signing on 1.8 mil or anything like that? So how much talent does this team have? And they're all probably paid similar.
Guess we'll find out, man.
yeah. Back to Essendon.
Yeah, look, bit disappointing in some ways for me. Like, I was hoping Sardis would be better this year. I think early in the year we all had him in our super coach, like high expectations.
yeah.
That was disappointing. Obviously, they blood a lot of youngsters, but they do not blood my boy, Kale Duran. The one player
True.
that decided not to play, not once,
He's Dito's boy.
he's my guy. So I feel like Brad Scott watches this and he's just doing it to piss me off.
It's spite, bro. It's just
Complete
pure
spite.
you
He's
know?
never going to end.
He knows. He knows how much we've,
He knew that if he just did that, I'd bury the hatchet with him. And he
Yeah.
didn't do it. He didn't want it to end.
Because he knew you wouldn't bury the hatchet.
The beef
that's why.
continues. I'm not burying it. No, he plays Kale Duran or else.
Caddy and Kako, the two for those boys.
You know what? There's a third. There's a third.
yeah.
No one talks about him. I don't think as much as anyone should. But a guy who accumulates and he uses it pretty decently as well. Archie Roberts, man. That kid plays with energy, and I think they've found one there late in the draft too. Like last year's draft, I think he might have been a third round player or something like that. I think it was a third round pick.
Yeah, he's in the 30s, I think.
Look, maybe like a pick in the 50s. Archie Roberts is
Was he
good.
50s maybe? In my head, he's like mid-late 30s, but yeah, you could be right.
I'm pretty sure with him, he was meant to be, maybe second round sort of vibes.
Maybe that's
but
what
he
I'm thinking.
slipped to the 50s.
Fun fact,
pretty
Archie
sure.
Roberts, when you look him up, was born in 1910. So there was an Archie Roberts that played AFL that died in 1945, maybe in the war.
Wow. That's insane.
Crazy.
There you go. So shout out Archie Roberts.
Shout out the original.
Shout out Archie Roberts' grandpa.
Is it? So this is one question I have about the Bombers now, right? So we know that I just mentioned Sardis didn't really get a run at it. By choice, it seems. Correct me if I'm wrong. He wasn't really injured. So you play Dylan Shield pretty much every week.
And now
Decent
he's
role.
gone.
And then as soon as the season ends, it's like mutual, he's out of here.
Yeah.
So like,
What was the point?
is Sardis really not your guy? That
Yeah.
you're not even going to try? So I think there's a few things like you can, and this isn't a Brad Scott bash, but it kind of is implied that there's some criticism there because if you're injury struck and whatever, wouldn't you try and accelerate the development of some of your players, not just go with a Dylan Shield who you obviously knew was out of there? Bit disappointing.
That's actually crazy. I don't
Even a
think about
Jerian,
it.
like I know I bang on and half joking, but you're going to play Goldie every week. Play Jerian, help him pinch hit a little bit, see what you got there. So it's a bit weird.
I think they think he's not going to make it because they played Setterfield in his role once he came back, and Setterfield played until he was injured as well. So yeah,
Setterfield was all right. We'll give him that.
he's all right, but
Yeah, but it shows that
Sartas
obviously-
could easily match that level.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It was a high. Who was he? Top 6 pick?
5, I think.
Yeah,
Fifth, yeah. Anyway,
Roberts
so-
was pick 54.
Roberts pick. Yeah, see there you go. Pick in the 50s, man. So that's value there. That kind of averages out the
There's-
TARDIS pick a bit.
There's
kinda.
Clark as well, had a good season.
Yeah, actually, there we go. No, you're right. He was actually very impressive. Very ready for AFL footy for a dude who's very young. So yeah,
The only good thing, I guess, is they did well trading with Melbourne last year.
yes.
So now they've got
yeah.
Melbourne's pick who finished right above them. So that couldn't have worked out much better, if we're being honest.
100%. It's a win-win situation for them because it's like, Melbourne get their Xavier Lindsay and he's a gun, and Essendon into this draft not as strong, but at least you're better positioned.
And my only concern though is we know the weakness of the draft and it's a bit compromised. And they don't really have a great record of drafting well high. I mean, the Caddy one, Kako was handed to them with the academy. Caddy was kind of the that's when you pick him consensus. So they didn't really have to make a choice there.
Yeah. Then there was the year that they went and got Zach Reed, which he's great. He's one we got to talk about too. He's excellent.
He was good when he
but
was in.
injury prone. Perkins and Nick Cox, who
That was the big one. Where
And
they,
it seems like Nick Cox not going to make it. Any Essendon supporter you talk to, they say he's not going to do it.
yeah.
So it's been a bit indifferent, and they've had some goes at it. So yeah, they've really got to nail it because otherwise, I do worry.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what are they going to do with Mullet Man as well? He might want to go.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one actually. I've got to suss that out, but
Mullet
The Ruckman.
yeah, Draper there.
Oh, why is he so sought after? Are we missing something? We don't rate him, do we?
Yeah, I don't
We
rate
don't
him
rate
that
him.
much.
We don't rate him at all.
He's
You
nowhere-
don't. You definitely don't.
Yeah. He shouldn't be anywhere near a mil or whatever. I don't know what are they asking for him. 800. Like, what is he asking? He's nowhere near that.
That's
bro.
crazy.
An extra sore point. I brought him into my draft. An absolute steal at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And he was pulling 100s, and then he did his knee.
How dare he?
How dare he, mate?
I think it was Achilles. I think was it.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, I think it was a bad
irrelevant.
one. Yeah,
Irrelevant,
whatever it
bud.
was.
Well, look, I think it goes without saying they would get some compensation for him, right?
Yeah.
Is he free agent? Or is he
He's a
contract?
free agent. Yeah. So they're gonna get
I wouldn't
compo.
care. Surely if you're a Bombers fan, you don't care if you get decent compo.
Yeah,
No.
100%.
It's not that good.
100%.
All right,
You
Melbourne.
got Kale Jerome anyway.
That's it, man. Hey, watch out next year.
Yeah, Melbourne. They're going to have a huge
Sell the farm,
turnover.
buddy.
Yep.
Sell the farm.
That's it. It's time. Just invest in Harvey Langford and Lindsay and
He looked great.
Windsor.
yeah, Yeah, Windsor. Yeah, there's some talent there, man.
Bowie,
Yeah, there's
Pickett.
You know, I think the only thing is when you sign,
I'll skip
That's
going.
it.
that's kind of it. No, legit. Actually, it's kind of getting this. It's stretching. Judd McVie.
I think, look,
Are you guys linked to Rivers? Was Rivers linked somewhere?
to North. Nah, not North.
I think Rivers was linked somewhere. Fritsch is linked to different places.
Yeah.
Fritsch showed a bit more form, which was good. Malcolm, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. For Melbourne, it's just Oliver, Petrarca,
Yeah,
Viney. I think that's over now.
yeah.
So
Look, I think
All on long-term deals that are expensive.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting how they navigate that situation. The thing is, they're going to get a new coach. Can a new coach reinvigorate this squad?
Not Buckley, surely not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would you want Buckley as your coach, dude?
Look, I don't know, bro. I know he's a
I think it just, for me, looks like a bit of a refresh is needed. And thankfully, they have drafted well, as we mentioned. So I don't think Melbourne fans probably welcome like offloading Clary, even for nothing. Maybe you'd get something big for Petrarca. But I don't see the magic anymore. I don't know. I think that the era's passed.
Yeah, it's weird how Track went from just this classy, mid/forward, and now we look at him. He just looks like a butcher.
He's
weird.
He's okay.
He looks a bit heavy. Yeah, he looks a bit heavy to me. He's not as powerful, as fast.
But he's not a like. Oh, he's finished. Like Petrarca's still very, very good player.
No.
The person that I'm disappointed is finished is Oliver, because this guy, as we've talked about, he's a superstar for years and years and years, and just fell off a cliff, man.
Yeah, I remember early days of the pod. You called him, and I agreed with you. The perfect midfielder.
One of my favorite players, mate.
Yeah, just non-stop running, just inside grunt. He was okay with the footy, not special, but he was okay with it.
It was good, yeah.
But yeah, the running power and the grunt is unbelievable.
He's basically a taller Sarong, basically.
Yeah,
but every time the ball was near him, like every time he watched Sarong, every time the ball's there, he gets the clearance.
Yeah, it's just his.
Oliver was the same, man.
Yeah.
And it just for a player of that caliber, multiple Australian back to back to just disappear. He's not coming back, bro.
Yeah, no, it's sad. It's actually
he's B grade at best.
Yeah,
But yeah, they keep Cozzy. That was big for them.
Yeah, and he's fulfilled his end of the bargain.
Yep. So he's been good. Look, if they do lose Lever to North, question marks about the defense because Stephen May's a bit of an up and down figure.
Yeah, a little bit of a hothead,
Yeah. Look, they improved, but the start of the year was that bad. Their season was just anchored down. They couldn't lift up higher than they did, but they did. I think we should acknowledge they did get better in the second half of the year. And if you can sort of be that consistent, Langford's and Lindsay's and anyone else get better, there's something there. But yeah, I think I don't know. The magic's gone for me.
The magic's gone, bro.
100%. Port, they're going to get refreshed. They're going to another team.
Disaster year.
Yeah, disaster year. They're going to get a new coach, so they're going to really need to reinvigorate that team.
But that
quickly.
coach has been involved all season.
Actually, you're right. Wait, it's Josh Carr.
Yeah.
No, wait. That's wrong.
Yeah.
He's
Well, look, top 4 down to 13, the biggest drop of any team. Sydney dropped, and that was a bad year, but at least they recovered and didn't get pantsed as many times as Port did. So, horrible year. You lose Horn Francis. You start without Butters. Sure. But every team deals with injuries.
They trade up for Lukosius. He doesn't play.
Correct.
I mean, Georgiades announced himself. I mean, he'd probably announced himself in the past, but he had a very good year, over 50 goals. Butters is an absolute freak of a footballer. But Bergman had a pretty good season before injury.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of...
They shouldn't have finished with this poor of a percentage and this many losses. They had a lot of disgusting performances.
Yeah,
Not
which
good
is crazy for a team. Yeah, who were fourth last year in the top 4. So yeah, I don't know. Look, I think with them, it's just if they can get an injury-free team, I think they can still compete with finals next year. To be honest with you, because the talent's there.
Is the talent there?
Yeah, Butters, Rosie,
The midfield,
Bergman.
I think to Matt's point, like what's really different about it than their top 4 finish a year ago?
Yeah,
in terms of list.
their forward line was
Houston.
always
Houston, okay, that's one guy, man.
Yeah, but like Farrell has been excellent as well. He's been great. Like I don't think he's not Houston, but he's been a really good distributor for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I think it's a blip, but we'll see. I don't know. That's just my thinking. I'd like it to not be a blip because I don't like Horn Francis still. It'd be nice to see him suffer, after what he did to us. But
I just think the competition's so tight in the upper ends of the 8. I can't see them bouncing back and being part of. I don't know. I'm not that optimistic.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Look, who knows? And look, it might be a situation like, say, for Sydney, who will segue into maybe not next, but shortly. With it took a while for Longmuir. No, what's the new coach? Dean Cox to get his game plan together and get it all sorted and get the team going. Maybe it's going to be the same thing for them. Hopefully, they might have a bad start, and then eventually Josh Carr gets the boys rolling. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Well, this is the only good thing about that scenario is there isn't the pressure that Cox had.
True.
Because Sydney was in the grand final, whereas Port, they've already hit that low now.
Yeah.
So if they just repeat, it'll be like, okay, he's still putting his stuff in. If they bounce back, he looks great. If they drop even further, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the issue. You just can't.
You can't go further than
You
this.
can't really drop further than
Yeah.
13th.
That would be a disaster.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
Yeah. Saints, I reckon, are a team that could be exciting next year, though.
I'm not...
This is the first time Saints have been linked to people and actually got them. They got Tom de Koning.
True, yeah.
They're linked to Ryan. They've kept, what's his name? Naz, who's the most informed player in the comp. Some of the younger players have resigned. Philippou resigned.
The only concern I have with the Saints is their ladder position got a buff because they won, what was it, like four or five in the end by under 10 points to end the year, which for me, those games can always go either way. And only the best teams can, like a Collingwood at their peak, are winning those pretty much every time. So in a different world, they have 3 less wins and they're below Essendon.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm a bit hesitant to assume they're just going to do that again and grow. I think they kind of, I'm not going to say got lucky, but yeah, I don't have such confidence in them to make
Fair
a big jump.
Look, I think worst case scenario for them is they still kind of suck, but I actually think there is a little group of young players who I really like, and the one that I've kind of changed my tune a bit. Like I was always a Philippou guy, but the guy who I really like right now is Boxall. To be honest with you, I think that dude has Josh Dunkley potential. And reason I say that, this dude's a first year player taking contested marks already. Like he's a big boy, he's strong, he can move relatively well. Like I can see that big bodied midfielder who can, be the chop out of can be like the marking target up the field, and then you'll still have your Max King and perhaps Earl Marshall unless he leaves. Still has, him forward as well further on to that. It gets interesting, And then there's Tyroo, and then there's Travalia, who we haven't seen much of, but there's probably going to be something there. I think there's at least a nice little...
Windhager's young.
Yeah,
Darcy Wilson.
Yeah.
Liam Henry's ever going to arrive.
Garcia. Yeah. It's actually look, I think there's a bit of fun there. I think the concern is they've re-signed Naz for 2 years. Yeah, Max King. I think he's, I don't know, with Max King. But look, with Naz signing 2 years, if they don't impress quickly, that must be what they're doing. They must be thinking, we got to get all these dudes in to try to improve quick, because then if we do that, we can possibly keep Naz further into his,
Well, I just
career.
think the narrative has shifted very quickly about the Saints with these big signings. So I like how they're going big. And yes, they're overpaying for some players, but I just feel like the energy is there in the preseason for these guys. So that's exciting.
Sydney, quickly as well. So, I don't know. What do you guys make of this?
Yeah. Look, Sydney, the way they ended the season that hot, it was reminiscent of the previous year where, it's like, okay, these dudes, they've got it, but I think
You can't just blame Goulden being out. I'm for me, I don't know.
Yeah, look, it's probably a mix of the injuries. So not only Goulden, but also Cal Mills was out, which he's been out previous years as well. But I think he really, as a captain, he just sort of reassured that team a little bit and had played with a little bit of guts down back. And I think the issue for them is they need Charlie Curnow. They actually need a key forward.
He would be insane there.
Yeah, he would honestly, they need that type of player. Because I think, what do they have up forward? Amadi's either injured, kicking 9 goals, or kicking 0 goals 5.
Well, there's Logan McDonald.
Yeah, and I guess he's been injured. So, yeah. But then can you start to rely on dudes like Amadi and McDonald when they're not present and available? And you got to kick, your marking target is Hayden McLean.
It is kind of stunning. They obviously had Franklin for ages to not take a punt on a few young prospects in the draft at any point over the last how many years to develop them quietly in the background. None of them have really worked. Amadi's the closest.
Well, McDonald was the high draft.
He was the high draft pick, but that was a bit later on and won. Okay. Like, I don't know, for key forwards, as far as they go, like, you need a couple strikes at it because they don't often hit.
Look, key forwards and some shore up in defence, I think would be the main thing for them. Grundy, if he can replicate some sort of season like that, have their best top 5-6 plays in, another proper preseason under Dean Cox.
Yeah, them Bulldogs very clearly the most likely to jump in.
Yeah.
Very clearly.
Yeah, there's a big separation between those two teams and the ones we've just talked about. And with the Dogs, much publicised how they have some of the most elite players in the comp. Darcy, Bont, Ed Richards, the list goes on, right? Very, very attacking players, which is why they can beat up on bad teams and win by 100 points against North every time and these type of things, right? Just defence. Someone like a Jack Silvani would be great for them. Ability to defend transition, more defensive side of the game is probably their issue. But man, their attacking players are special. So if they can balance out these superstars with role players, they could do anything even next year.
Yeah, I think it's hard to be like they have to be harsh on themselves. But I think from the outside looking in, it's like this is a team that won 14 wins. I'd love if my team won 14.
Yeah.
So it's like
they didn't take the scalps, like Dean said, against the big teams that they needed to.
Yeah. And then at that point, like, it's better that they're not playing finals because they're just not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas, say, a Freo, for example, who are in there, you know, they've had some big wins against good teams. So you think, maybe there's something there.
Correct.
Freo beat Collingwood in Melbourne. Like,
I can think of one at the top of my head was when Hawthorn wasn't quite convincing earlier in the year and they played at Marvel and the Hawks just wiped the floor with them. Like, those are the kind of games where, like, you're not playing the hottest Hawthorn team and you still couldn't beat them.
yeah.
Let's preview these games.
Yeah, go for it.
Adelaide versus Collingwood, Thursday, at Adelaide Oval.
This is a big
I'm
one.
thinking Pies, man.
A few people have said that.
I don't want it to be true, but also I kind of do want it to be true because I kind of want Rankin back
For the final.
for the plot.
It would be an insane turn of events that, you know, that they lose their first and then all of a sudden Rankin gets to play the grand final.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be rumors, there'll be speculation, you know, about, you know, but like,
The funny thing about this one, I'm just looking at the form guide. So, on first glance, you look at it just at the last 5 at least. Crows won all 5. Pies lost 3 of them. But then you look at it a bit closer. Like, Crows beat North by 13. It wasn't great, but they already had it sealed up.
Yeah.
Fair. Pies by 3. Eagles only by 9. Hawks by 14. And then they smashed the Power. So, although they have the form going with them, I don't think anyone's saying that Adelaide's in ripping form. They're not as hot as maybe you think.
yeah.
Whereas the Pies, obviously, they've had an indifferent month or two.
That,
So
that win against Melbourne though was huge.
it was
To
huge.
get the one win, the winning feeling back before the finals.
I'm going to go Crows. I can't look past them at home.
Yeah, fair enough.
Look at home. Yeah, sure. I don't know. It hasn't really been an issue for Pies to beat them in the past though.
And it was a very good game last time. 3 points, low scoring.
It's a big final. It's a huge final.
For Adelaide as well to only put up 59 points. I mean, they won, but they're usually closer to the 100, if not above. So, what about you, Matta? Did you say?
True. Look, I'm not good at predicting and tipping. Like, honestly, like it's so
What's
I feel
your
like when it
feeling?
comes to finals, I don't know. I'm thinking Adelaide.
Yeah.
Still, I think Collingwood, the way they ended the season, it's just they're still just there's so much questions about that team. You know what I mean? I think that's So I'm happy to go Adelaide.
That's fair.
Especially if they're going to have a questionable defense, and you're versing probably the best forward in the game right now. Yeah, it's
No, that's fair. Cats then at the G against the Lions. Rematch of last year's prelim.
This is an awesome match. I kind of want to go Cats. I kind of want to do it.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned before
They're actually
about,
favourites, funny enough.
about the Lions getting everybody and like academies and father sons. Like, I don't want to be petty, but like I don't want them winning flags like back to back from now because it's just going to get worse. So
that's true.
I'm going to go the Cats.
Go to the other team that keeps winning.
Yeah,
back to
true.
back.
Yeah,
I think
no.
the thing
not
that's
much better, is it? Yeah.
The part that's going to be interesting for me is how Geelong set up because Chris Scott's always doing some cheeky stuff. You know what I mean? O'Shea and Mullen probably going to go to Neil. You know, maybe O'Connor or something. I don't know. I feel like Atkins might run with someone. I'm curious how that goes. And with that, right, Supercoach AFL Finals is coming up. I kind of want to have Dunkley in my team purely for the reason that I think they're going to be so constrictive on, mids like Neil and maybe even Ashcroft and maybe McCluggage as well. I think Dunkley's going to go crazy. But no, that's
Are
what
you
I'm
doing
thinking.
Supercoach finals?
Yeah, man. Why not? I've started a Supercoach Enjoyers channel. If you guys
true.
don't know, so I might as well subscribe. Yeah, I think we're on 24 or something right now.
Let's make that 200.
Let's make it 200. ASAP. But yeah, yeah. So
Did
look,
you tip, Dean?
I said Cats. Just the penny.
yeah, I'll go Cats as well.
So three Cats.
Giants, Hawks at NG.
It's
Go on,
funny
Hawks.
because it's a battle of two teams with like kind of lackluster midfields. Is the way I see it. Like I don't vibe either of their mids. Like obviously the Hawks have Wood Day out. GWS have Tom Green, who's cool.
The last few times these teams have played have been cracking games.
Yeah.
I will just add.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fun one.
This is a big one.
I'm going to go Hawks. Just
I'm going to go Giants. Back in the Giants, mate.
You think?
Yeah, home advantage.
I don't think they love NG though.
Look, it has such an average name, NG Stadium, Engie. It's such a yeah.
So you guys go on Giants then.
Yeah, I'll go
These are
Giants.
both wild card. These are very wild card teams.
Yeah,
One of these teams could win the flag and also just be gone immediately.
Yeah.
True.
Look, I feel like GWS are always good for sneakily making the prelim and then losing
You know what they're
in
also
a close
great
game.
for?
You know what I mean? So I'm happy to run.
They're
with
good
that.
value for a
But
match.
you know what
but
they're
Yeah.
good for? They're great for a day final. They hate a night final.
Yeah,
I've never seen them play a night final.
True. Give them the day slot for
Yeah,
sure.
they're a day slot. Kelly Underwood vibe.
Last one is Freo and Gold Coast. I'm just going
Dockers.
Freo, bro.
Suns have never beat Freo.
Do it for 50. Come on.
Optus.
Do it for 50.
Do it for 50.
Or for
mate.
fizz.
Do it for 50s. Yeah, we're big fans of 95, mate. I watched some highlights of him the other day.
Same.
Oh, he was just. I can't
Powerhouse.
believe how dominant, how like much of an athlete he was, and just he was just
So
the whole
many
package.
injuries, so many surgeries.
Yeah.
So
But
is-
he still looks jacked these days, bro.
He's jacked.
You
Look,
see that dude?
make no mistake, this guy sucks now.
Yeah,
Like
he's- He does,
five foot come into and do nothing. Like he's on his last legs. dude.
Yeah, but he's just such a good bloke. You know
But
what I mean?
he's-
And he was such a champion, man.
Oh, he's he's absolute
Yeah.
champion.
Is he better than Pavlich? Because we always talk about who's the best player of this team's history. I think he's better than
Yeah, no,
Pavlich.
he's the
and I'm a Pav guy. Pavlich was when I was a kid.
You love Pavlova.
I love Pavlova. I love and I think he's look, Pavlich he's doing things. He's doing other stuff, man. He's getting
CEO for
high
Sydney and shit.
Yeah, he's doing high jobs like that. Give him that fight for the title of best Freo player. But then I don't know. Let us know, Fremantle fans, what you think about that. Maybe Dave Mundy gets a shout.
He doesn't, but look, by the way, we're saying Freo, but I'd love the Suns to win this one.
Of course you would, man. Of course
I'd
you
love
would.
it, man.
that doesn't surprise me, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it there. Yeah, that was differing pod, different structure to the usual. But yeah, like and subscribe. As I said, SC enjoys as well. And see you on the next one.
Bye bye.
Right.